Oh, right, that was quick. I'm live and I haven't got my microphone in place. So, what am I talking about today? Am I really going to be talking about some crazy new form of weight loss? Well, sort of. Yes, excuse the complete wobbliness. It's usually not that quick. Okay, so what is this crazy new form of weight loss? And I'm not talking about high intensity training or HIIT training. I am talking about IHT. And I'm going to practice it right now before your very eyes, okay? Are you ready? I'm actually practicing weight loss. I'm actually practicing something that increases the energy of my mitochondria. I'm practicing something that will boost my immunity and help me resist stress as well. What am I talking about? I'm talking about intermittent hypoxic training, IHP. Basically, holding your breath. Yes, holding your breath can help you lose weight. Crazy as it seems, it's actually true. You may have heard of something called Buteyko breathing, which is something developed by Dr. Buteyko in Russia. And it basically looks at, as you breathe out, you hold your breath out before you hold your breath out for whether it's 5 seconds, 10 seconds, half a minute before breathing back in again. And they found that this changes how the gases work in your body. They found it helps some people with asthma, but they've also noticed that it can actually help some women become fertile and become pregnant. They found that it helps with some autoimmune disorders. They found that it really helps chronic fatigue syndrome. It helps athletes. It helps you lose weight. It helps improve immunity. And so you get IHT, intermittent hypoxia, holding your breath, basically. And this all stemmed from ancient yogic techniques. And it's developed from there. And then there's a guy called Wim Hof, who's known as the Iceman. And he uses this kind of training to really improve his health and be able to withstand all kinds of different pressures. Now, there's a few different things a few different techniques for doing this. I'm only going to talk about hypoxic, yes, that's right, hypoxic or hypoxia. I'm only going to talk about some of the really simple to do ones. I will reserve the right of explaining the more tricky ones. You can go and look them up on Google yourself, but I don't want to be held responsible for anyone passing out. So, how do you do this? How do you practice this? There's some really easy forms, okay, and there's from yoga, from yogic breathing, pranayama. And what you do is you just breathe out, and then you breathe in slowly, you breathe out slowly, and then you hold your breath out for the count of 2. And then you breathe in slowly, you breathe out slowly, and you hold your breath out for the count of 2. So you repeat this holding your breath out for the count of 2 4 times, and then on the 5th time you hold your breath out for the count of 10. And then you go back to holding your breath out for the count of 2 for 4 more breaths, and then 10 on the 5th. So four lots of holding your breath out for 2, 1 lot of holding out for 10. And you do this for maybe 10 breaths, or 10 cycles rather, of holding out for 10, or maybe 5 or 10 cycles. And you practice this once or twice a day. And then after a week or so, you should find that it's getting easier to do, and you start holding your breath out. Instead of 10 seconds for that one hold, you hold your breath out for 15 seconds. Or maybe even 20 seconds if you want to push it a long way. But what you should find is every week you just look at increasing that long breath hold. You keep the 2 to where it is. And over time what happens is your mitochondria, the things in your body that produce your energy, they suck more oxygen in, or at least they do something to become more efficient. And it has all kinds of effects on the body because you get more energy production, and it's because you're getting more energy production, you're getting more energy burning, so you burn fat and you lose weight just by learning to breathe properly. And unfortunately most people are crappy breathers, so they have crappy mitochondria. Breathing well and learning and consciously learning these techniques is very, very powerful. Now you can, instead of breathing out, you can also hold your breath in. The reason I prefer holding your breath out after the out breath is because it's actually much more relaxing. So many people today are stressed. They're in what's called sympathetic dominance. And the longer you breathe out for, and holding your breath out will help this, the more you activate your parasympathetic nervous system. And then your natural desire to take a breath in. Whereas if you've breathed all the way in and then you're holding your breath, it actually perhaps more activates the sympathetic and stress nervous system. So the breathing out one is good, but you can practice the breathing in one as well. You may find the breathing out one is much better for reducing stress and doing it at the end of the day. I like to do this as I'm lying in bed, drifting off asleep. Whereas the holding your breath one in, it's probably better to do it at the beginning of the day, certainly if you find yourself harder to get charged up. But so it's good to practice both. So breathe in, hold your breath in for 2 seconds, breathe out, breathe in again, hold your breath in for 2 seconds, breathe out, and then on the fifth one you hold your breath for 10 seconds. So hold your breath in, hold it, or you can breathe out and hold your breath out. So 2 different things to try. Try them both. Start doing them for a few minutes, whether it's 5 rounds or 10 rounds, and just take note of what's happening. Can you start holding your breath longer after a week? Because you should be able to. 10 seconds should become really easy, and then you start pushing it and holding it regularly for 15 seconds, then maybe 20 seconds. And then if you do have a lot of fatigue and a lot of muscular aches and pains, there are other techniques, but I would want to consult with you first before telling you to try them. So if you do have aches, pains, fatigue, if you do have energy problems, then please PM me, contact me, or contact the clinic directly on 01707 662 704. And that's the painreliefcentres.co.uk for anyone watching on YouTube later. Right, be well, live long, prosper, and next week I think we'll be talking about, we're moving down from the lungs and we're going to get into the bowels of the body. Be well.